Before we dive in, just a quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe and tap that like button. Um, would you ever expect a cartoon based on an old school vampire video game to take over the internet? And the critics at warp speed, when Netflix unleashed Castlevania in 2017, nobody quite saw the storm coming, uh, animated like a fever dream, dripping with gothic vibes, packed with sword fights and brooding heroes. This show instantly staked its ground as a new breed of adult animation. Uh, Characters like Trevor Belmont, Sifa Belnauds, and Dracula were shaken out of their old pixelated worlds and dropped into moody, mature storytelling. And critics and newcomers couldn't get enough of it, calling it a masterpiece that broke the decades-long curse of cringeworthy video game adaptations. If you were tired of movies based on, ending games flopping like a fish out of water, suddenly there was hope. There was Hot of Text. But just as the series was collecting five-star reviews and perfect Rotten Tomatoes scores, a storm was brewing among the diehard fans. Um, Here's the twist. Longtime Castlevania devotees, the folks who've been speedrunning Symphony of the Night since dial-up internet, were so happy. They didn't just grumble about a line of dialogue here or there. They felt betrayed by bold new creative choices. The heart and soul of the original games, the creepy castles, melodramatic monsters, and wild boss fights, had been mostly traded for moody conversations and complex emotional arcs. Dracula, once the ultimate video game villain, was now a tragic lost soul grieving his beloved. Some fans missed the whip swinging action, the haunted corridors, and the glorious monster bashing that made the games unforgettable. What really set off the debate were the deviations from the game's legendary lore. Characters like Hector and Carmilla ended up with new backstories and motives, sometimes straying far from their pixelated originals. The show leaned hard into philosophy and dramatic monologues, which left some viewers wishing for more good old-fashioned monster hunting. But there was no denying it's so fucky. The show looked amazing, and the story had real teeth. And still, if you weren't kind of chained to the old lore, Castlevania became an unexpected favorite. Why? Freed from pixel maps and power-ups, the show grew into something bulkier, meatier, a fantasy epic in line with Game of Thrones or The Witcher. Trevor Belmont wasn't just a hero, he was a flawed, exhausted survivor. That Game of Hero was a very good hero. Didn't Dracula became an oddly relatable villain torn apart by grief. Instead of a direct Deem to Scream adaptation, the series used the core story as a launch pad, spinning a unique tale all its own. Some purists might not call it true Castlevania, but for many, the gamble paid off. Animation, voice acting, and gripping character arcs pulled in a whole new crowd of viewers, many of whom had never even touched a Castlevania game before. And let's be honest, maybe vampires drinking blood is scary, but watching fans feud over canon on the internet, That's the real horror. Um, with that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.